Plaintiff Patricia Gardner says she first dated the defendant 10 years ago, but she broke up with him because he was a liar and a cheater. Patricia claims they reconnected a few months ago and started dating because the defendant said he was divorcing his wife. But they're still together, and she's with the defendant in court today. Patricia's suing her ex for a loan. Defendant Christopher Heron admits that he's a cheater who had an affair with Patricia, but insists he's not a liar. Christopher claims he regrets what happened with Patricia, but insists he doesn't owe Patricia for anything.
Start with you.
We met about 10 years ago, and I dated him then. I broke up with him after 7 or 8 months because he was a compulsive liar, a cheater, and I'd had enough. And then we started talking again around February of this year. He told me he owned his own business, which was a plus. I thought he had changed. So we started a relationship because he told me he was planning on divorcing his wife, which that was a lie too. I've even talked to his wife, and there's no planning of a divorce.
She told you what?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was for him. And he hadn't gotten around to it before you broke up the scheme. You might have been your own worst enemy. You should have let him do his thing. Press him. When did he leave him? When? Instead, you're going to go to her. Your husband is leaving you. What? I'm telling you, he's leaving you. A woman came here and told me you were leaving me for her. She had a little something in her hand. Is that true? Oh, no. We'll call and tell her. But you tell me how it went when you went to his wife.
She answered his phone.
All right. You're talking to her.
Yeah.
And you tell her your husband is planning to leave you.
I told her that, and she said they're working on the relationship, that there's no way that they're getting divorced.
Okay. And is that how that conversation ended?
There was much more to it, but yes.
Okay. What happened from there?
We were still seeing each other, even after that.
Okay. Let me allow him to give some background. Tell me what you want me to know.
First, Your Honor, the reason why I'm here in a wheelchair today is because I got in a bad accident this weekend.
Sorry to hear that.
One, I'm many things, cheater, whatever, but I'm not a liar.
Yes, you are.
Hold on. I'm trying to see.
I never once told her.
I'm just trying to see. I may have to get a Dixie. Your phone, can you look stuff up?
Yeah, I'm great.
We're going to see the definition because I believe if you cheat, hold on, you're being dishonest.
Right.
Cheaters are dishonest. Is being dishonest equal a liar? I'm asking, I don't know. Look up cheater. Cheater, a person or thing that cheats. Really? It would take you to give me something like this. Man, come on, get on out of here. The man you give a calculator to, and he still gives you the wrong numbers. You ask you to bring you the definition of cheater. He brings you something that says a cheater is a person who cheats.
Anyway.
You my man, though. There's no question about it. You my man.
Your Honor.
Go ahead. All right. You're a cheater, but not a liar. You stick with that.
I did have an affair with this woman. I realized early on that it was a mistake. During the course of that, I own my own cab company. I let her run up a tab. And actually, it was not for $700.
Okay, now we're getting into the money part, so I'm going to allow her to tell me about the money issue.
We started a relationship because he told me he was planning on divorcing his wife, which that was a lie too. I've even talked to his wife, and there's no planning of a divorce.
She told you what?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was for him. And he hadn't gotten around to it before you broke up the scheme. You might have been your own worst enemy. You should have let him do his thing. Press him. When did he leave him? When?
Plaintiff Patricia Gardner says she started dating the defendant after he claimed he was divorcing his wife, but that was a lie, and the defendant is with his wife in court today.
Yes, ma'am. Tell me about the loan you're suing for.
I have my own car. There was no need for me to have a cab. He told me that someone got into his account and he needed money, so I offered him $700. I have a statement that somebody saw me give him the money out of the bank. I have my bank statement showing that I gave him $700.
Okay. When did he say he would repay?
2 months.
All
I
right.
called him the week of the 2 months of being up. I said, do you know what Saturday is? Because his wife was the one that answered the phone. And I said, I need to talk to your husband because I want my money back. And she's going off on me. Well, I will stop talking to him when I get paid back. I don't want nothing to do with either one of them. I could care less.
The statement you have, does it say it was a loan?
There was a guy that saw me give him the money
Okay,
outside
did he
the
also
bank.
hear?
No.
He could see you give the money, but he couldn't hear you
Right.
talk about the money.
And we agreed.
How far was he?
Well, the O'Reilly's parts is right beside the bank. So in his statement, he wrote, he saw him count it not once, but twice.
I'm asking you, how far away was he from you?
It's right across the street,
It was 30 feet away?
possibly.
Okay, it's important that you convince me because you're going to hand me something that says, let me have it please, that says this person saw an exchange. And let me tell you, I got news for you. He's going to say it was a gift.
Actually, I'm going to say that it was payment for the tab that she ran up. Which
I have my own car. I don't
Do
need
you
to
see
run up a
why it's
tab.
important
Right.
that this statement indicate what the
Yeah.
money was being exchanged for?
And it was
All right.
actually $546, not $700.
He says, I saw 7 U.S. bills. How can he count 7 when you hand it to him?
Because
from
he
30
recounted
feet
it
away?
Once, well, not once, but twice.
He recounted it how?
Like this.
Why didn't he walk over?
Because he didn't know what the hell I was doing with him.
Oh, okay. So he didn't know that you were giving him money.
Not at the time, but he saw me do it.
Okay. I'm going to discredit this statement based on our discussion regarding this statement. He didn't hear whether it was a loan or a gift. That's what that exchange could have been since he didn't hear anything. So, and he says there was a transfer of money. He says instead of the 7, it was a 5, and he was closer.
I can give you the bank
In
statement.
fact, he had it in his hand.
I can give you the bank statement that shows I took $700 out.
All right, and you could have given the $200 to someone else or spent it on groceries, pot, liquor, I don't know. All right, but you were loaning it to him and he was to repay it 2 months later. Did you ever contact him in writing, by
Yes.
text, by internet
I called
about
him.
your money?
Yes, I did.
And you have that with you today?
All my texts were
Texts,
deleted. They were
huh?
deleted.
All your texts were deleted.
Yep.
So you have absolutely no evidence that says it was a loan.
No.
So let's hear what you have to say, and I'll decide who I believe.
Your Honor, during the course of the affair, she did have her own vehicle, but it was broke down, motor problems, and I had taken her many places, as well as let her ride around with me because we were sleeping together, obviously, unbeknownst to my wife, which she's not happy about it.
You thought it was unbeknownst. That's
Well,
why she was answering that
I thought
phone.
it was until I
That's
literally
why she
did
was
get
answering
threatened.
that phone, sir. She was answering your phone because she suspected
Must be-
that you were seeing that woman. Go ahead, sir. All right, but during the course of the affair, you all would ride together, and then what?
I had asked her for payment for the tab that was on there.
While you were together?
He never asked me for
Quiet,
anything.
ma'am. While you were
Yes, because
together?
ultimately I have a business. My wife does check the numbers. So if I don't have something to show for while I'm riding around all over the place, she gets real suspicious. Because this isn't the first time that I've cheated on her. It is the last. It came up to $546. There was a transaction at the bank. How somebody could be at O'Reilly's that's probably approximately 75 to 80, maybe 100 feet away, actually, from actually where we were standing, because we were at the lobby door in the parking lot.
Has she requested her money since then? She says she did by text, but she deleted them.
The only thing that I really got was after that I broke it off with her because I realized it was a mistake, and then she started calling my phone.
When was that?
I know for, like, do you know the exact date?
How long after?
She's the one that started.
How long after exchanging the money did you all break up? How long after exchanging the money did you break up?
We probably broke up about a month later.
Plaintiff Patricia Gardner says she started dating the defendant after he claimed he was divorcing his wife. But that was a lie, and the defendant is with his wife in court today.
Is there any evidence by you of the text that she says she deleted?
The only thing
or anything showing this conversation?
The only thing that I have is her texting my wife, asking her to get me, or to get her the money, or is she going to have to take me to court?
Or what?
Asking if she's going to have to take me to court to get her money. And my wife
harassing me.
I don't know what my wife said, actually.
Okay, let's see what your wife said.
There were several more, but...
Will you ask your husband if he's really going to make me take him to court? I have nothing to say to him. Please quit harassing our company. This is my husband and myself. I do not know what you're talking about, and I don't have time for it. All right, it shows that you want some money. You were paid for your bill, for your services. Yes, and so you think today she came to try and get $700 from you because of what? Anger?
I've known her for several years, yes, very spiteful.
Okay. And what else has she done?
All kinds of things.
Tell me one.
Harass me.
I mean, she's called my wife several times
When?
to tell her.
When?
During this.
Right, I'm not talking about this. You said, I've known her for several years. She's very spiteful. Mm-hmm. The spitefulness that she demonstrated over the years you've known her.
She assumed that I was sleeping with some other woman, and I find her in bed with my best friend.
What did she, so you're saying she got you back by getting in bed with your best friend. Did that happen?
No.
All right, what else?
No, Judge.
I don't really remember.
Okay, all right. Did you catch him cheating before, other than him telling you about his wife?
Yes.
And what did you do? What was your reaction?
I thought I could make him stop, but I didn't, so I broke up. I broke up with him.
You just broke up?
Yeah.
All right, you didn't get him back in any other way?
No.
Yeah, you haven't proven that this is out of spite. Ma'am, I can't conclude this is fraudulent. It's not enough evidence for me to determine that this letter he wrote is fraudulent, even though I'm just inclined not to believe it. And the $700, I'm going to grant you that judgment. I believe it's more likely than not that the money was given. I see it's withdrawn around the same day. And never do you deny owing it. Not one piece of paper, sir. So I'm going to believe you that more likely than not you're telling the truth. $700 for the plaintiff.
Thank you,
Judge. She's a liar because she told me she was never sleeping with him. But
because
he
your
told
husband
me
told me not to. He's a liar. He's always been a liar, and he's going to stay a liar. He's worthless and pathetic. All I wanted was my money.
If he was so worthless, you wouldn't have pursued him a second time.
I'll give her $700. It's nothing.
To go away.
As long as she goes away.
I would have went away if you'd have paid me before we came to court.
I didn't know you no money.
You should have went away when you knew he was married.
And he should have been cheating on his wife.